What's up, everybody? Jay Spruill, movies, music, sports, and life. And I'm going to try my best to keep this camera steady. I usually don't do shout outs at the start of videos because the majority of y'all, well, I would say even a lot of y'all aren't even subscribed to me. A lot of y'all that check out my power recaps aren't even subscribers. So don't get it twisted. I'm not itching and complaining about that. I just know that that's the reality of it. A lot of people come to stuff that they're interested in, but they don't necessarily invest with the person outside of anything that they're talking about that they're not into. You know, you might come for my power stuff, but you don't care about me being in my 40s playing basketball and watching my adult league highlights. But I'm going to still do it anyway. As always, I shout out the Louisiana superhero Chance Jollivet. I haven't checked his recap out, but you can best believe that I will be. But I want to give a shout out to the homie Fish Flicks. K Fisher goes by Fish Flicks. He has been saying, I feel like it was early as the 4th episode. So we on episode 9 now. I feel like as early as the 4th episode, he was telling me and anyone else who would listen that JENARD is carrying the show. And let me tell you why I wasn't on board with that. You guys got to think about it. There's a fine line between acting and not liking a character. So hear me out on this. I disagree with Fish immediately because I don't like JENARD. And JENARD just disgusts me. But then you have to sit back and think to yourself, are you saying that because the acting isn't good? Or are you saying that because you realize the acting is so good that you personally don't like the guy? And I had to really think about it and admit that JENARD does such a good job of just acting like a straight mark. You know, a mark 1 minute, gangster the next minute, that you're really in a situation where it's like you blurring the line between acting and real life. So I say all that to say K Fishy was dead on, because I don't care what you say about JENARD for this season, but he carried this episode. He carried episode number 9. Like, to the point, it seemed like almost anything that was going on, storyline wise, you could point the finger. Everything tied back to JENARD. And I think it was some masterful writing. It was masterful misdirection because we all knew at least one major death was coming. And when I tell you all of us assumed that it was JENARD, I mean all of us. You know what I'm saying? And for it to be Diamond, I mean, usually, you know, I'm cool with some of these guys that's plugged in with these power writers and actors, you know, to the point that sometimes they'll know stuff and they'll just hold it. I genuinely don't think that most of my power guys behind the scenes that interview these actors and are cool with some of the writers, man, I don't even think Mark Dark knew that Diamond was going to be out of here. And the way they did it was real poetic because, you know, they apologized to each other. They explained where they was coming from. They explained how it was going to be. And it's really to the point, man, everybody's saying that Tommy killed Diamond. Man, give me a like or a comment in my comment section if you agree with me. Tommy did not kill Diamond. Did you see the look on his face? Dude, Tommy was mortified when Diamond stepped in front of that bullet. So I really think it was genuine. Even if I felt like he was, that's been my big pet peeve with Tommy this whole season. I really feel like he really downplayed the black gangsters and the Mexican gangsters that he works with. And he seemed like he had more of an affinity towards the Europeans, the Irish, the Russians, the Serbians. It just really irked me that it always seemed like that he showed them more respect than his more hood counterparts. But if you saw his face, you know he had love for Diamond, because just in the middle of a shootout, he hit the wrong target. So, okay, I'll give you the best example. When he was trying to hit Ghost and he hit Angie instead, he just kind of gave a look like, oh, well, you know what I'm saying? At least I hurt Ghost. But here, as soon as that bullet made contact, in the midst of all that gunfire, in the midst of his life being on the line because return fire was being aimed at him, he was hurt. And I could be wrong. They might do the next episode and Tommy be like, it's whatever. But just what I saw, he was devastated that he hit Diamond. And, you know, JENARD was so good this episode. Even the way he tried to take out Kate, I know y'all was at home mad. I know y'all was at home like, dude is sloppy. Like, they almost make it seem like it's bad writing, but I really think it's good writing, because I think it's good writing and just good acting, because they really just showing you how unreliable JENARD is, and how you can't underestimate how JENARD can just mess something up. You know what I'm saying? Because that was just completely sloppy and ridiculous. You don't know if you want to choke her, punch her, shoot her. He tried all three and failed at all three. You failed at choking her out, you failed at punching her, and you failed at popping her. You know, so, and of course that isn't going to do anything but make Tommy more mad. Only other thing to talk about on this episode, I'm not really a D-Mac fan. Like, D-Mac always kind of throws the vibe off to me. Like, in his case, I think the acting range just isn't there, because he's just irritating. You know what I'm saying? And I think his homie that he took out is a much better actor than the young man who plays D-Mac. But I kind of knew it as soon as it was going to happen. As soon as the young homie didn't take that shot at D-Mac when he had the chance and told him just to leave, I just immediately said, oh, he got a gun. You know what I'm saying? And then he let him have it. And it definitely seemed like Genesis was going to be collateral damage. I know I'm not alone. I know y'all thought that when he was in the kitchen with her arguing, that somebody was going to pop up and shoot her, thinking that they were getting to D-Mac. But, you know, they showed some mercy and didn't take the young sister out. But let me know in the comments what y'all thought of episode 9. If y'all agree with me that JENARD really carried the whole episode. And what do you think is going to happen? Because one last thing before I go. Everybody's going crazy about Omari Hardwick's name being mentioned in the credits for episode 10. Now, call me crazy and call me out if I'm wrong about this. Did they not show Tariq? I forget the young brother's real name, the actor. But I don't think they showed Tariq's name in the credit for episode 10. And everybody's just glossing over that, you know, because of the phone call and all that. So Ghost is in episode 10, but no Tariq. Movies, music, sports, and life. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend.